Hi guys, so in this video, I'm going to talk about things to do before you become a business owner. So the first thing is you have to learn how to self-motivate. When you become a business owner, there's going to be days where you don't want to wake up, don't want to do the things you have to do, you don't want to make the phone calls, you don't want to send out the emails, you don't want to fire people, you don't want to be the bad guy and always telling people what to do and all that kind of stuff. But if you're going to make it in this whatever industry you're in, if you want to be the best, you have to do things when you don't want to do it. It doesn't matter if you're tired or how you feel or what's going on. You have to do it, plain and simple. You just have to have the discipline, and you just have to keep doing it over and over and over, because most days you're not gonna feel like doing it. So next thing is save money. It's going to cost to do business. So what I would generally tell people is have about 6 months in reserve savings on top of the initial setup cost. So if you have to buy a bunch of inventory or payroll or rent, whatever it is, you have to figure out what's it going to cost you for that first month, and then have another 6 months set aside. Because if you just go in there and try to run it off the ground with no money in the bank and you have one bad month, you're going to be out of business. So you want to have that cushion to just kind of, help you out there, Next thing is learn to sell. I don't care what industry you're in. Nothing happens until something's sold. So you have to learn how to sell. You have to learn to talk a good game and make other people believe in you, want to buy your product or your service or whatever it is. You have to learn how to sell. There's an old saying, is always be closing. It's from Glenn Ross movie, great movie. Next one is work for the best in the industry. Before you just go out there and just willy-nilly and be like, I'm gonna start my own business and whatever. Like, I don't care if you're a baker or a mechanic or whatever, professional athlete, stockbroker, I don't give a shit, whatever it is. You should go work for the best in your industry, the absolute best. If you can't work for the absolute best because maybe they just are too far away, or they won't hire you, or whatever it is, work for the second best or the third best or the best in your area or whatever it is. Learn as much as you can, because you're going to learn what they do well, but also what they don't do right, so you can kind of come back. You don't have to reinvent the whole wheel. So just learn from the best. You have to work 80 hours a week for about a year or two. But especially starting off as a business owner, you're going to be putting in 80 hours a week. If you think you're going to start a business and just work 20, 30, 40 hours, that's not going to cut it. You're never going to be successful, because maybe you're doing the daily grind from 9 to 5, but then after hours, you're doing the books, you're keeping all the records of everything, and so or you're planning about what you have to do next and stuff like that. So I would suggest people working 80 plus hours a week for at least a year, so going into it, this is what it's going to take, and I've already proven that I can do it. So you don't want to get in there and just be blindsided and be like, oh shit, I need to work, I've never worked this hard before in my life, I'm drowning, I don't know what to do, but anyways. And then learn to learn fast. Basically, what does that mean? It means kind of going back to learning from the best, but you don't have to, work for everybody and stuff. You can watch videos, look things up on the internet, read books, talk to people who have done it in the past, or go to seminars, and don't just learn things on your own the hard way. You want to really go and, learn to learn fast by cutting your learning curve. Take the knowledge wherever you can get it as fast as you can, because you're not going to have time to do a lot of that learning on the job. I mean, you are going to learn a crap ton on the job. Trust me, that's still going to happen. But if you can just cut out some of those learning curves before you even get started, you're going to save yourself a world of headache. Learn your strengths and weaknesses. So, all right, you're good at sales, but you're terrible at, service or whatever. So, or vice versa, or you're good at management, but you're bad at sales, or I don't know, whatever. Know your strengths and weaknesses. If you know your strengths, play to that. Do that. You want to try to get better at your weaknesses, but push harder on your strengths and bring your weaknesses up. But also just knowing your weaknesses will let you know where you need to grow, what you need to do. And then you can kind of go back and be like, oh, that's my weakness. Okay, let me go talk to so-and-so or a mentor or seminars, whatever about those weaknesses to kind of, pull me forward and kind of catch me up. So put your back against the wall. That's a really tough one. You want to work like you have everything to lose, because you absolutely do. You have all your money invested, all your time's invested, all your resources are invested. People are counting on you, all that stuff. So you have to operate like it's the fourth quarter, it's the 2-minute drill, you're down by 6, you got the ball on your own 20, and you're the quarterback and your best wide receiver's hurt and out of the game. I mean, you got to operate like this is it. It's all or nothing. This is do or die. This is the Super Bowl. Come on, let's go. Do that before you just jump in, because all these things, the worst possible things are going to happen to you, and things are going to blindside you that you didn't know about and stuff like that. And you may not always have the money. So do these things so you're not just completely blindsided when the time comes. So, all right, guys, subscribe, share, comment, like. Thanks.